did that happen? Was proof of play always the plan, and Pirate Nation just kind of came out of that, or was it always like both things part of the plan?
So proof of play. So Amit, our CEO, along with a bunch of co-founders, the goal was to build a decentralized game engine infrastructure. And the reason behind that was Amit was one of the co-creators of Farmville, and he had just seen that a couple years prior, Take-Two, which had acquired Zynga, which had acquired his company, they shut down Farmville, this game that had like hundreds of millions of hours of gameplay and billions of hours invested in time and money, and they just like rugged it. They just fully rugged it because they didn't want to have to support Flash. And so he said, I want to build a game that lives forever. And he's been interested in the decentralized technology for a while. He was building an NFT marketplace. I believe he started around the same week as OpenSea in 2017, potentially. I think that was the year. And the technology wasn't there yet. The users weren't there yet. But he has been like really interested in this tech for a really long time. And so he wanted to build a game that could sort of outlast him, outlast the company. And so that was the initial kernel. Pirate Nation was the idea that sprung from the concept of building a fully on-chain game. And so we knew that in order to prove out the technology, we needed a killer app. A lot of teams in the space focused on infrastructure, and infrastructure is really important. But if you don't have an application that shows what the infrastructure can be used for, it's hard for people to sort of grok. So our thesis as a company, a little bit different from some of our peers, is that we needed to build a mass market application that showcases and is a proof point for the underlying technology. So the company is effectively modeled after Epic Games. Amit used to work at Epic Games in the really early days. He reported to Tim Sweeney when the company was super young. He worked on the first version of the Unreal Engine on Gears of War and Unreal. And the concept there is like the Unreal Engine powers their gameplay. And the more popular their games become, the more game developers can see it, the more engineers who look at this product are like, oh, wow, I can build a game that looks that good using this engine, and it drives business towards the engine at Unreal. So the consumers power it's basically the top of funnel marketing budget for the devs. And so we're following a similar strategy. We're not trying to build a visual engine, we're building a state engine, so a back-end engine. However, like we believe that without an application, it's really hard to pitch your infrastructure. So we're trying to build Pirate Nation into a mass market casual game that other game devs can see. They're like, oh, that game is successful. How are they doing it? What are they doing? And then it will lead them naturally towards proof of play and towards the game engine that we've been building and developing, which powers the game. So we have this, this virtuous loop. And every time we make improvements to the game, the engine gets better. And every time we make improvements to the engine, the game is able to get better. And so they reinforce each other.